All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to take a look at its local and city search here combined. See if it's got BSS. So we're back in the GBC universe, where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, where we focus on full spectrum intent capture. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC down there in white. High intent peeps on the left, low intent peeps on the right. And if a boudoir photography business is rising, most likely they're pulling in peeps from this entire intent spectrum. But if we got a boudoir photography business that's falling, we're missing some chunks of people somewhere. And way over on the left, the highest intent peeps, that's Google search, social search. Now people searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city like right now. That's where we focus on talking about BSS, which is what we do here. Way over on the right, that's the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir right now. They most likely don't even know what the heck it is. That's our sister brand. We're talking about BLCS, and right now with that brand, we're only working with boudoir photographers currently running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and 0 slots is, that's a fast death of a business because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never hit page 2. So we're invisible to literally 4 out of every 5 people from page 2. Our business is going downhill fast. We care about being visible to the approximately 80% of searches that are page 1 only searches because they're the bulk of the market. Now, 1 slot on page 1 of Google is no bueno as well because basically, every other boudoir photographer on page 1 is going to have 1 slot as well at minimum. And so and there's 10 organic slots on page 1 of Google. And as a result, we're actually going to, we'll look the same as everyone else. When we look the same as everyone else, we will, buyers are just going to click. 80% of buyers anyway are going to, that's our page 1 search only. They're going to click and every single link on page 1, open everyone's website, fill out everyone's contact form, price shop everyone, get the best, offer rate for themselves. And, it's kind of just death by 1,000 cuts there. So we do not want to have BSS. And it's also because 0 or 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which most people know about. That's, seems like every week someone gets a new iPhone, they turn off their Google My Business profile, and their website's an issue boudoir. So it's kind of, making it harder to rank on page 1 of Google. And, or someone gets a new camera, then they start posting in the mom Facebook groups that they now shoot boudoir. So it's more sellers for the same number of buyers, makes it harder for each seller to get buyers. And this happened, kind of big way with COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but couldn't earn money, but they still needed to earn money. So guess what? Everyone's already got a smartphone with an awesome camera, triple cameras on it. So it's really easy for people to turn and become boudoir photographers. Increase in supply, but demands remain the same. So that's market saturation. Now, the new one that most people have never even heard of is the false belief of page 1 equality. So a lot of boudoir photographers will actually believe, okay, every boudoir photographer gets 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google just kind of naturally. That's simply how it happens. And, maybe we were on page 1, but new boudoir photographer came in, ranked the website above ours, we got pushed off. And as a result, we kind of just, that's simply how it is. I guess, we'll have to wait, hope they delete their website and Google stops indexing them for us to hopefully get back on page 1. And hopefully Google doesn't pull in somebody else to page 1 ahead of us. But this is actually a false belief. And I know it's a false belief because I know that Google will give as many page 1 slots to peeps as they want. And, as they're willing to put in the effort to acquire those, kind of those slots. So I know this because I actually went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using this new methodology I developed. So false belief of page 1 equality. Basically, we got to kind of break through this mental barrier, break through this kind of this false belief, so we can even look around and see if there are solutions available that can solve it, because people kind of naturally accepted this thing could not be solved. Now, boudoir photographer BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. Yeah, because we got 0 slots on page 1 and we're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, basically, approximately 80% of searchers have never seen us. We're definitely disappearing boudoir photographer, which matters because that is the first signal, the first kind of flashing emergency signal, emergency light that says, that basically says the boudoir photography business as a whole is eventually going to be disappearing. And same thing with one slot on page one of Google. I mean, we're still basically invisible. We're looking the same as everyone else. We're being price shopped to death. Just a real waste of time. So, it's the start of our universe here on the left. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality, or the false belief of page one equality, which causes people to not act and go out there and take as many page one slots in Google as they want, because Google will give them. Now, luckily, we do have the solution. I created it. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent buyer keywords. And when we do that, it's kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains down in South America, or kind of the small streams, the small rivers. That's saturating social search, and those eventually all flow together down to the big Amazon River. And that's Google page one. So it's kind of everything flows Google page one, but it starts with saturating social search. Now, this is the exact strategy I use to go from, again, 0 out of 10 slots page one to 9 out of 10 slots on page one in 10 days. Show those results here in a little bit. And this is actually the only strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers that enables the boudoir photography business to actually successfully fight back against market saturation, and then to actually still continue to grow the business in the face of market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. Technically, the only other thing that can successfully do that is brand, having a massive, large, well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's, going to start taking people's jobs. Actually, I believe it already has, and it's going to be taking more and more and more people's jobs. So the reason that I see that is the only strategy that can do this in a relatively quick time frame is imagine we're in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're one boudoir photographer there, but there's a million total competing in the marketplace. Everyone's got their website, so we're all trying to rank up on Google page one. But we say, okay, SQ methodology is the only thing that can actually help me compete ASAP, faster than anything else, and without spending ads, without having to build a brand. Then what we do is we actually crank SQ methodology up to the max. So this is like what we would do in this scenario, crank it up to the max, or this hypothetical scenario. And let's say we get for 300 page one slots on Google, or across all the social networks for the highest intent keywords. And after we do that, we also, those flow onto Google, and let's say we get the first 300 slots on Google as well. That's like literally the first 30 pages. And as a result of that, anytime any buyer in our city is looking anywhere for us, or not for us, but for boudoir photo shoot, whatever those highest intent keywords are, anywhere, searching on social networks, all the largest ones, or searching on Google itself, they literally only see us for the first 30 pages. And if approximately 80% of searches never even hit page 2, then basically ain't nobody hitting page 31, which is where basically our competitors start. So obviously, if they can really only find us when they're searching, whose business will continue to grow? Ours. Whose business will it will continue to decrease. Well, that's the other 999,999 boudoir photography businesses competing against us in the same city market, because we, turned SQ methodology up to the max and did way faster than creating a brand, way faster. And also, I believe it'll, help create a brand, I don't know, estimate 8x faster, just because of how many surfaces will actually be on. Now, once you're with the SQ methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And, this next initial benefit, first one is, getting the slots page one on Google. And then the second one is every new page one slot we get on Google, we are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Now, this is super awesome because now we know if we're kicking our competitor off page one of Google, their page two or deeper, approximately 80% of peeps ain't never going to find them, because we know approximately 80% of Google searches are page one only searches. They never even hit page two. And if someone instead use a strategy to do it to us, then we're the ones being made invisible. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And boudoir search visibility, This is our GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. Because if everyone else got one slot and we got 3, well, buyers may not even click on anyone else. They may even only click on ours because like, man, why does Google recommend these people, this person 3 times? There must be some reason. They must be good. And we actually kind of dominate everyone else on the page. And there's always like a very, very tiny chance someone could have 2 slots page one on Google as well. That's rare though, especially in the cities with city searches because there's so much competition for keywords. And so as a result, even if the super rare chance someone has, two slots, dude, our 3 slots still dominate them as well. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, which is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one methodology, or the false belief of page one equality. Then now we have the solution, SQ methodology. We achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, so now my results. This is the keyword I want to rank for, BLCS Boudoir. It's for our sister brand. And I exclusively used SQ methodology to do exactly this. And what I did, well, let's see the results. This after 10 days. So we got slot 1, organic, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. So dude, 9 out of 10 slots Google page 1 in 10 days. This is my results I got using this methodology. Now, onto the main event. We're going to see for this boudoir photography business, for its local and city search combined here, seeing if it actually reaches, see if it's got BSS, see if it's in a GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. Let's check it out. So we're going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. All right, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Let's go to the organics. Boom, got organic one. Well, Google's stuck thinking there. Oh, data's off. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. Yeah, we'll count that one, Chamber of Commerce. Boom, we got 3. All right, so we got 3 out of 10. Nice, very good. So for our local and city search combined here, we got we did not have BSS and we hit the GBC recommend minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. So all is looking perfect. So if you're a declining boudoir photographer, a DBP with boudoir search sameness, and you know that because you've gone and done the local searches, the city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your area, and you're saying you either had BSS for one, at least one of the searches, or you have, basically you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for at least one of those searches. So you got BSS, boudoir search sameness, or disappearing boudoir photographer, and you understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So we can actually take as many, as a result, we can actually take as many page 1 Google links as we want. And you actually are saying, wow, SQ methodology, this is the only solution for you. You've actually been waiting for something like this to be able to, get all these extra links, page 1 Google search, kick out your competitors, which you actually like a lot more, make them invisible, put them slot 2 and deeper. So you like those initial benefits. You understand the market saturation. Yeah, more people join because of, getting new gear just over time. And also you understand that, you're understanding that AI is taking more and more people's jobs right now. And then the last time this happened, COVID, people lost their job, is still to earn money. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with an ultra powered camera. So a ton of boudoir photographers entered the market saturation during that time period. And you're realizing, wow, that's going to happen again more and more over time. On top of people upgrading their gear to become boudoir photographers, but AI is going to get better and better every single day, every single year. It's going to be taking more and more people's jobs every single day, every single year, forcing more people into the market become boudoir photographers because everyone's got a super powered smartphone, with an ultra powered camera. So so now you're realizing, wait, it's not really about page 1 links. We actually need so many page 1 links that we fully book out page 1. Then we got backlog of page 1 links that Google wants to put on page 1, but can't because we already have too many links there. So then it starts filling out page 2, 3, and 4. Basically, you're realizing you got to actually fortify your page 1 position so that no current boudoir photographer can ever, basically ever has a chance to rank there. Also, no future boudoir photographer that comes after AI takes their job will ever have a chance to rank there. And you're seeing that, okay, again, S cube methodology is the only solution that can provide that benefit because um, basically because it's the only way to get that many links out in the ecosystem. You also like the future well, you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible Boudoir photographer with Boudoir search visibility because you know you need these things on your journey to becoming the #1 Boudoir photographer in your city. And as a result, you're liking the future benefits of SQ methodology as well because you understand we're making these videos, ranking for these keywords. We're actually building these invisible thematic keyword columns kind of plugged into our brand, business name, social handles, your name, website name, website URL, all those things kind of this cluster of data, plugging in these invisible thematic keyword columns, or we're ranking for these keywords. And as a result, every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, grow these columns or add new columns, actually increase the probability we show up here in the AI overview. Here on Google, it's the #1 most premium placement. Right at the top, cannot pay for this through ads. And in parallel, we're actually increasing the probability that AI search apps start to recommend us as well. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. These are increasing in usage every single day for search. Google standard search decreasing every single day. And last time I did AI search for boudoir photographers in a city, it recommended me 3. And I actually went to do manual, Google standard search, Facebook search for boudoir photographers in that same city. Dude, there was 60. So if only 3 be recommended through ChatGPT, we gotta get one of these 3 slots by any means possible. And you're understanding, okay, future benefit SQ methodology is the only thing that is going to give your business the best chance to achieve that and increase that probability as fast as possible. Second, third feature benefit, growing you to become a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster than all these other methodologies or all these other standard solutions because we're doing much more volume spread across many more surfaces. So you like that feature benefit. You also understand that my current plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. So you like that. You can get all these benefits, prevent your competitors from getting them, and build up kind of like a large competitive gap between you and them. The links on page 1 for all these keywords, and going and doing basically going and doing building that back end AI keyword mindshare kind of momentum over time for every day that SQ methodology is correctly executed. And as a result, you decide you're going to be first mover in your city without this new technology. Give yourself kind of a leg up on everyone else because the converse scenario, if one of your competing with WAF targets were to sign on with me first, then you would actually, me and your competitor would be getting all the links on page 1. You'd be booted off to page 2, 3, 4, deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. We'd be fortifying them, so you're on page 1, so your chance to have a ranking on page 1 again decreases, every single day. And as a result, you would then actually, me and your competitor would be building up this massive back-end AI keyword kind of cloud, or back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum for the highest intent keywords, so they can be recommended in AI overview and AI search apps, and that gap would get bigger every single day. And for you to compete, what you actually have to do is rederive S-cubed methodology on your own, but you would never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly, and you would also have to then execute it equivalent to us every single day. And if you were to do all that, you would actually be maintaining the gap me and your competitor had already built up ahead of you. So you'd never actually make any progress towards closing that gap. So in order to close that gap, you'd actually have to increase, 2 to 3x our output. And, since you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly in the first place, it's hard for you to even put in that time to 2 to 3x our output. And then you're looking like, dude, who's even got 80 hours a day to do all this stuff? So you've decided, screw all that. You decided you'd rather be the first mover in your city and not deal with missing out on this, making sure a competitor doesn't get it. And so, if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, but if you, but when we open the hospital for new patient intake, you can DM us then. Because even if you find somebody to contact us now, nope, we ain't working with you. So DM us once the hospital opens for new patient intake, and then we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.